Hello, everybody. Welcome to the dev stream. This is a special edition for the new hero, Baptiste. We're going to be talking all about this new hero. We have some other really fun stuff planned. I'm Playoff Beard here with Action Jackson. Happy Halcyon days, AJ.
I cannot wait to get this underway, man. Baptiste looks super cool. I was playing him in playtests a while ago. His kit's gone under a few changes since I last played him, but some of the core things that I really like about him are the same. I'm excited to see how he fits into competitive. That's my thing.
He was excited enough playing the hero that it changed his hair.
It did.
All the whole thing, all the things happened. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but Shinkaigen, he was so kind. He wrote up this whole thing. Right, and he had this very nice little message he wrote about Halcyon Days. It was so pretty. I feel like I should just read it. Happy Halcyon Days. It's the season of egg decorating, flower blooming, water splashing, and black feather crooning under maidens' windows. As my computer makes lots of noise, just music for the background. Halcyon Days takes inspiration from spring festivals from around the world, and that the art this year celebrates. I'm not going to say the name because everyone is debating how to pronounce it.
It's going to be wrong.
A Thai festival that is in part celebrated with a giant water fight. Sugar Venom wrote a special lore piece to celebrate this occasion, so make sure to check it out. And Sugar Venom will be with us later, so that will be quite a bit of fun.
Gonna have a few special guests.
Yes.
Actually.
Tell us what do we got here on the show?
We've got community matches as per usual. We're gonna have some questions from the community. We've got interviews with a few different people. Sugar Venom is one of them. Stick around to see who else. And we're gonna be talking about the new hero a little bit as part of that. Then we're going to be talking about the Taka skin, I believe.
Fantastic. So, and if you want to play with us, we are going to get a community game in. You can start right now adding Vainglory in-game in North America. That's a capital V, Vainglory. If you're interested in playing, Shinkaigen in the back will be selecting people randomly. I am going to play in this first one. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little bit rusty.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lots of time being spent with
all
Playoff
those
Baby.
Got your mechanics all warmed up?
Yeah.
You're good?
We'll see. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it will be fun. So, yeah, this is the place to be if you're interested in finding out about Vainglory's next hero. Coming soon to the Halcyon fold, we are going to have a guest that can speak to kind of the character creation process, a guest who can speak to the lore, and then a very special guest, a friend of the stream, a friend to us all, who will be joining us later as well to talk about the hero's abilities and what this hero brings to the fold. So it should be a very fun broadcast. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll kick this off with a community match. So I see Shinkaigen adding people to the party,
Full party,
including the lovely Lemon Fresh and the swaggy swag playing VG, who will be my teammates in this game. We'll get this community game underway, and once we come back, we'll start taking some of the questions that you've been submitting all week and talk about a number of the things in the news, and then on to the hero.
It's going to be super cool. I cannot wait for the hero section, and I get to actually go off stage and watch and listen when they're doing it, which should be cool.
I want to, so you go on stream.
I'm surprised that you're picking up this hero.
Well, I haven't been running this hero at all.
Oh, baloney.
This update, I've been running all Baron. I've been running all Baron, all update long. But the one and only Shinkaigen suggested that I start trying this, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to say specifically
this
what's
has
happening.
been played recently to success.
Yeah.
Actually, in the Vainglory.
That doesn't mean I can do it.
That was also an update
but we'll
ago.
see as the match starts. How it goes.
Have you asked the man in question for any tips? Not Shinkaigen, the one who played this in Vainglory.
Oh, Kavalifar? I'll take any tips I can get from Kavalifar. That's right. We're gonna try to run a lane lance.
Lane Lance
try to run a lane lance and see how this
cool,
goes.
but you got to know what you're doing with the farm because once you
gotta
commit
know what
to
you're
a basic
doing.
attack. No, I mean it sounds stupid, right? But once you commit to a basic attack, if you got it wrong and you're not going to kill the minion, you're stuck, right? And then you end up misattacking it, and you can't attack for ages because your attack speed's super slow.
Yeah.
So in order to farm properly, you do need to know what you're doing, which is hard.
But you know what though? When you play all Baron, dude, the farming is so rough in the early game. Like everything else feels gloriously easy. So I'm not so worried about that. I'm going to take the watch off, though, for this.
Oh, you're really putting on the
get a
little,
huh? Get a little sweaty here. Let's try this match. So I'm sure AJ will be just horrible to me throughout this process, but that's perfectly fine.
Oh,
And if
I'll
you're
be
joining
nice.
us late, that's why we play the community game off the beginning, so that it's a chance for everyone to join us before we start doing the special guests and all the big stuff.
I'm definitely curious to see how you're going to do, because I know you hit Vainglorious before, but that was what feels like a lifetime ago, I'm sure, for you.
It really
Given
does,
all
and
the
my
playoff
farm
baby
already
stuff.
is awful, but that's okay.
I'm going to have to... Oh, man, that pillow's in the way of the screen. Hang on a second here. I'm going to try and keep track of your farm, too. Okay, not ideal. Hey, you got that one.
That's not my
Keep
fault.
going.
It wasn't my fault.
What
You
about
distracted me.
So talk to me a little bit about why you're playing the lane lance. I mean, why did Shin suggest it to you? Why did you buy into the idea?
Well, a lot of melee laners are coming back, and it suits my playstyle, obviously.
Is that just because you only play lance, or
No,
is that what's your playstyle?
just being able to be aggressive, being able to kind of make, the thing about Lance is infinite creativity, right? So it's just what you do with him, and in lane, obviously, Lance with a lot. It's like playing jungle Lance, but with so much more farm. So it's just that much easier.
Oh, you need to help your teammate out a little bit here, buddy. He is going to be going down if you're not careful. Nivmet, he finds the kill.
Wait, is Nivmet in this game?
Yeah, he's on the other team.
Why?
Because he wants to shut you down, apparently.
That's not right. This is a community game. He's part of SEMC now. He has no business in this game.
So I'm actually
Wait, what's Lemony
surprised
Fresh doing?
that
Why is
you're-
Lemony Fresh taking my farm?
Oh, you got to be careful here. I just realized there's a monitor right above you. I got to give you credit. You're not cheating, because you did not react to that well. And you would have.
Not
if you were
react
looking
that
to the
well.
monitor.
If I was looking up, I'm not gonna cheat.
I mean, by react well, I mean react at all, basically.
But-
Maybe you're tired. I know you got to go.
But I don't understand why Nivmet is in this game and why he's just gonna focus me now. This is not a real game.
Nivmet doesn't play real games. Like when I was
true.
when I was playtesting Blitz, we weren't actually playtesting Blitz. We were playtesting Nivmet wants to kill AJ. His team is going to help him kill AJ. He's the only person that Nivmet wants to kill.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
no
the
good.
game plan for that.
That's no good. This game has lost its integrity with the introduction of Nivmet, who only wants me to die.
So I'm surprised that your playstyle is not things like Taka or really super early game heroes. Because you got to play quick matches nowadays, right? That's part of the game.
No, I'll just play Blitz if I only got a few minutes.
That's a good point, actually. That is one of the advantages of Blitz.
I've been enjoying Baron, where I can play into the late game. You get all the way into the late game, and then he is just a monster.
He is pretty good late game. Have a look at your farm here. I'm going to be keeping
Stop
tabs
it.
on it.
Shut up.
14 against that 21.
No, that's not. You got that backward.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, did I? Are you the one looking at the other monitor?
Shut up.
Oh, that was a great impale. You're on the money here.
This is not going well.
Oh, no, you missed that big...
I didn't miss. Shut up. This whole thing is a disaster.
I know.
This is
you really
only
need
my
to work
second
on
time
it.
trying the lane Lance.
How is that possible? You've been playing Lance for
Because it's
since
been
he
all
came out.
it's all jungle Lance, and with Baron, it takes so long. Your windup is so long on the basic attacks. This feels very different. That's okay. It's not a problem. We're fine.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that's going on in this game. Obviously, you're very focused on your farm, and it's not going super well, but you're trying. But other stuff that's going on in this game,
You're trying.
you
You're
know?
trying.
How,
Why is he
how annoying
vanguarding
is it
me
playing
now?
against Flicker?
Don't vanguard me yet.
He's vanguarding you because you're going to die. Like that.
No, if we had the vanguard now, that would help. This is all Nidmet's fault.
I mean, to an extent, though, you can't go in if you know that the vanguard's been burned already, right?
Who's going? Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate that comment.
All right, so playoff beard respawning in the base. 20 farm at like 5 minutes isn't terrible. It's
No,
just
it's terrible.
It's really bad. But
It's
terrible
really
is
bad.
on another level.
It's terrible.
Nivmet, on the
Terrible.
other hand, he's
It's
got
terrible.
26
If
out
you're
of the jungle.
if you're joining us late, this is not important. Do not pay attention to any of the horribleness that is occurring. That is
Are you telling me
burning
that you're not
holes.
taking this game seriously?
I'm telling them that if this is burning holes in their eyeballs, that the important stuff is yet to come, which
true.
is
Baptiste.
we are going to have special guest. Can I say who it is?
Yeah, I mean you're the one in charge here.
All right, Chainsaw. We're gonna have special guest Chainsaw coming on to talk about the origins, the concept of this hero. We're going to have Sugar Venom on, talk about the lore for the next hero. We're talking about Baptiste, Vainglory's next hero. And then we're going to have a very annoying fellow who finds his way into games that he doesn't belong in, who's going to come on and is going to talk about the kit of the new hero, what that hero brings to the fold.
I've been passed a pronunciation guide for the Thai spring holiday that you didn't want to go for, so I'm going to go for it. The only problem is that this last word, that's not how you pronounce that. As in, that doesn't tell me how to pronounce that.
We're past that segment anyway.
All right, Song Keiran. See, of course no, because the last bit isn't actually a pronunciation.
And that just goes to show that Nivmet would rather die just to kill me, even though he's worth more gold right now.
I was busy being distracted by Glory. What? I mean, so you died?
Yeah, I
Not
died.
much happened then. You're not worth that much at this point, right?
You're not worth much. Well, who are you saying is not worth much?
So Baptiste, let's talk a little bit about him ahead of later, because obviously the abilities have been released on the website. You can go check out that article already on VaingloryGame.com. And what I'm most excited about, I think, is the fear. Right? The fear.
You're gonna try to get me to talk about this now while I'm playing?
Well, I mean, you're playing, but you're not playing.
That's true.
You know, I feel like you probably, hopefully, have the capacity to talk about it at this point.
All right. Well, I'm not doing much else.
All right. So talk to me about Baptiste. I mean, I think the fear is really cool. It's going to be so impactful in team fights, unlike you right now as you run towards the turret. Thankfully, your teammate bought a fountain, it looks like. Saving your bacon there.
Feel free breaking into this. It's not his fault.
Oh, boy. Man, Nivmet has got your number this game.
Nivmet doesn't have anything. Nivmet is just...
Is he playing in the production room? Can he see the screen?
I don't know. I should server assert him.
Oh my goodness! What just happened? That was pretty dirty.
That's some good explaining right there.
I know. I'm thinking about Baptiste. I'm thinking ahead.
All right. So, if you want to talk about Baptiste already, I would say that to me, he brings an immense amount of flexibility and utility to a team, which is what I like and what I think Vainglory could use more of. So I think that it's not going to just be what you can do with him. It's going to be what you can do all together, or what comps can do, how it unlocks the potential of other heroes. And I think all of that is going to be really fun together. Now, you, of course, are talking about the sexy. You know, you're talking about the ult, which is the introduction of a fear mechanic to Vainglory, which is extremely exciting. As I just failed to last hit twice. What was that? What even happened?
It was funny to watch.
What happened just then?
I wish people could actually see your fingers. It would be more entertaining, to be honest.
I don't understand what just happened, though.
I do. You mistapped.
You mistapped.
I mistap all the time, but I'm not playing right now. Spotlight's not on me. Fear mechanic, okay, yeah, it is the big sexy, right? It's the new thing. There are other really cool things about his kit, though, as you go a little bit too deep. There's the Vanguard, though. You're good, you're good.
Any minute now, Nivmet is going to show up and be annoying, because that's what he's good at. I think this is because I was throwing juggling balls at him earlier. Thank you, Nivmet.
Oh, bye-bye. So, I know you were talking about the fear mechanic being new, but based on how you're playing this game, you know, as you run away from that fight when you had Vanguard to back you up, you could make the argument that the fear mechanic is already in the game.
I'm not afraid of Nivmet. Nivmet's just a punk. You have to stand up to bullies.
You do have to stand up to bullies. Important life lessons on the dev stream today.
This really is. I'm telling you, if you want to know what's happening. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will have seen that the awesome people that I work with tinfoiled everything that I own. It's like,
I came back and someone had put a sticky note over my mouse sensor.
Oh, that's good.
So they got me, but they got me less than you. That's for. Oh, that was a nice Githian wall. You might be able to make this one happen. Oh, that was trans guy. Denied.
All right, well, I turned the fight anyway.
He's the real MVP.
not swag playing.
No.
The lovely people I work with tinfoiled everything, my computer, my chair, my notebook, everything, right? And so some of the coins and the juggling balls that were tinfoiled, I happened to be throwing at Nimmet earlier. And I think he took exception to that and is responsible for all 6 of my deaths.
Responsible is a bit of a strong word. I think, he certainly had some
Oh
accountability.
my God, more. Can I miss any more last hits? Is it possible?
Definitely, you got plenty of game to go. All right, back
I should have just played
Batiste.
Baron. I should have shown Best Chuck NA how to play Baron.
You're trying to be fancy, man. I get it. Lane Lance. Oh, playoff beard. He's a Lane Lance player. That'd be the story of the week. I like the dance, though.
I can do that right.
That is one of my favorite charms, actually. I really like it.
Nobody cares.
Okay.
All right. If you joined us late, this is going to be, once this debacle is over with, the Batiste, not quite the full reveal stream. You won't see Batiste in game today, but you're going to learn all about the hero's abilities. You're going to learn about the hero's concept, the hero's lore. It's going to be a fun stream.
It is. Maybe not for you, as you get snowballed on here, but for the viewers, certainly. Nimmet's doing a ton of work, I tell you. Seems almost unfair, to be completely honest. He is crushing you.
Well, I don't care. Stop.
He is in the production room.
Yes, we can hear him.
He just shouted.
Is
You
just
guys
a-
wouldn't have been able to
just
hear. He
a
was like, "I love you,
premeditated-
AJ."
This is all premeditated.
Well, it is, of course, premeditated. He knows what's about to happen. He's in the production room.
Oh, so he's cheating.
He
That
is-
makes
yeah,
sense.
He is cheating. He's not making you miss last hits, though, so don't get ahead of yourself.
Well, maybe he's doing that too.
I think that's unlikely unless you've added some features to private games that I'm not aware of.
It's probably soloing.
So, I mean, okay, Batiste, maybe that's a little bit much for you to talk about whilst you're trying to get these last hits.
Why don't you talk about it? Why don't you add some value?
I am adding value. I'll talk about Batiste, fine. All right. His ultimate, the big sexy, you were like, oh, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. The fear is incredible.
It's not called the Big Sexy, just for the record.
I'm going to call it
That's
the big
not
sexy
what
from
the
now
ability's
on, though.
called.
Definitely calling it the big sexy from now on, because it is a big sexy ability. That's
Why
for sure.
would Nivmet say, Playoff Beard is going to play on the stream for the first time in a million years. Let me go ruin his day and try to make him look awful. Why would that be the thing he says to himself?
Because Nimmet's a massive troll.
That's true. Okay, I'm sorry, you were saying?
So, he's getting really flustered in the other room, but I can't hear what he's saying. I wish we could get that, like, audio patch in.
No, don't do
Anyway.
that.
Anyway, Batiste and his ultimate. Good lord. We'll get there
That's not called
eventually.
Good Lord either.
Oh. Flip. It is very strong. If you land it, it is massive. I remember in playtesting, we were all sitting there like, man, if
What do
he
they
lands
think they're
that
Invincible
ability-
Armada chaining their CC together?
We can't talk about Batiste right now, can we? We can't do it.
You can talk. Go ahead, please. please talk.
All right. His ultimate fears people. That's the point I'm trying to get across here.
People, not everyone knows what that means.
So fear, okay, that's value add. That right there is value add. As is the value you just added to your opponent's team as they pick up gold off your back.
Not anything I can do.
So fearing is when you force someone to run away from you, right? So Nivmet has been fearing playoff.
No, he
Beard
hasn't. That's not
all
how that
game
works.
long. It's a bit different because this is actually a mechanic. You lose control of your character and you have to run away from your opponent who fears you. But basically, it's really good for setting things up. You can force people to run into certain locations. That can be good in Batiste's kit, sort of intrinsically, because
Yes,
he
it
has
can.
like this little miniature gauntlet on his B. But it can also be good if you have a real gauntlet, where your roamer has thrown down that, you got an Arden with you, and you just fear everyone into the wall to get a massive team-wide stun. So, as Playoff Beard was saying, there's a lot that he has to offer a team. How's this going for you, man?
I think Shin should cut away.
I mean, we could come back to the desk now. This game's over. It's done, Zo. It's okay, man. You have the joy of life in your life right now. You don't need to win games of Vainglory.
Well, if I knew he was going to be in the game, I wouldn't have tried something new.
You know what? It doesn't matter if it doesn't work when it matters. Right?
What?
So you're saying, oh, I'm going to try something new. Maybe it'll work. If it works in a scenario which isn't the real scenario, what's the value of it?
This isn't the real scenario. When you go into a normal game, there isn't a player who's already decided that their win condition on the game is ruining your life. That's not the normal.
That's not true because you have a blue name. When you go into game, you get targeted and you can't deny it.
Well, sometimes they like you though.
Sometimes.
You get like a smiley faces and
the smiley face and
cheers,
then a camp.
And then a
I'd
camp.
have met.
And then a camp. Wasn't your idea? It was Shin's idea.
Backstab.
Dude, that like my whole perception of Shin. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Focusing you was Nivmet's idea.
Shin wouldn't do that to me. Shin wouldn't do that to me. Shin wouldn't do that to me, would he?
I think he would.
Why?
I've been playing some strategy games with Shin and Nivmet in the office. And
Is it because I threatened to...
They always ally together, and they always backstab other people.
It is
so infuriating.
Is this because I threatened to kick Shin in the jimmies when he's on deadline, if he doesn't make his deadline?
Probably. Potentially.
Anyway, welcome back to the dev stream. Now we can begin the real portion of the stream.
Community questions is up next.
Okay, and soon we'll be talking about Baptiste, everything there. Okay, put my watch back on. Community questions. Would you care to do the honors?
Shall I ask you? Yeah, I think I should ask you.
All right.
Who won the
GG to
API
everyone
challenge?
except Nivmet.
Was it a good game? Do you feel like you had a good game? Personally. I feel like that's part of what good game means, right? We had a good game together. Collectively, we had a good game.
I always enjoy being with the community.
Okay.
I enjoyed playing with Swaggy McSwagpants or whatever his name was. Swagplane?
Swagplane. It was Swagplane, I think.
That's for sure. Just
All
not
right.
Nivmet.
Who won the API challenge? Talk to me about it.
Who won the API challenge? I thought you were going to talk about that.
You just told me to do the honors. What does that mean?
Vainglory University won the API challenge. Vainglory University. So this site is really cool. Everyone should check this out, okay? So you go into this site, it analyzes your play, and then through the kind of personas of Vainglory's heroes tells you how to improve your game in all sorts of different areas. It's really, really cool, really smartly done, really fun, and educational and informative. So what did you say, Shin? What are we looking at? We're looking at Nivmet's real game right now. So Professor Ringo gives Nivmet a B in farming. Dr. Saw a B, and Saw just says push turret. Master Samuel an A in deaths. Professor Petal an A in sun. No. Go back. No, there is no way he gets an A in sunshine and sparkles. That was the most evil performance.
It's not this game.
I have
it
witnessed
is
in a long
different
time.
game of Nivmet's.
No. I'm not okay with that. There's no way. No. Anyway, Professor A in
Maybe
power.
Nivmet's the teacher's pet.
So he gets a lot of A's. He's a good student in school. We got a C in something. What was that in?
D in support. That makes sense.
Yes.
That
and
makes
especially
sense.
in showing support for the people he works with.
Yep.
For
F
sure.
in vision.
An F in vision.
He certainly didn't have the
And his
foresight to
Flicker.
tell that you would
Flicker's
perhaps
like-
punish him later on as someone in charge around here.
All right, so everyone should check out Vainglory University. Congratulations to Vainglory University for winning the Dev API Challenge. You can learn a lot about your game, improve your game using Vainglory University. It's so many incredible entries. We'll be looking forward to making it really easy for everyone to find all the cool things the community is doing with the new Vainglory API, as well as integrating it into the esports broadcast, which is going to be really fun.
That's going to be super fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Why is Nivmet running?
Because he's generally like a chicken without a head. That's not a concern.
Yeah, he's still running. All right, so but that way now. He's indecisive.
He got an F in vision. He doesn't know where he's going.
All right, talk to me. So this is a community question.
Sure.
I'm not going to say talk to me. I'm going to actually quote it. Have you thought about giving Echo a buff? What if it could be used to refresh item cooldowns too?
Well, what do you think? How do you think? You're doing the Vainglory desk every week, week in, week out. Where do you think Echo is at as an item?
I still think that it has a strategic niche. That's the way I've always seen Echo. Like, especially with items like, okay, Slumbering Husk is another great example, right? It's cheaper than most because it doesn't just give you lots of good stuff. It gives you one thing that is very strategically impactful, and you have to decide, is it worth it for me to go for this one thing?
Maybe I should have bought a Husk.
I don't know if you had the money to spend on anything other than...
Nivmet, don't just stare me down after you stomp me into the dirt. What are you doing? Go away. Go back in the
How are
production
you
room
helping
then.
with production? You're literally just standing there.
He's just standing there staring at me like, yes, I just crushed your soul and embarrassed you in front of all the people. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. He's doing like his real life
Anyway.
Vainglory charm.
Anyway, I think Echo is actually not in a terrible place. We have seen it picked up once or twice. It didn't always work very well in the Vainglory 8. But I do think that if, for example, you're playing Samuel, actually this is the instance that happened in Vainglory 8. If you're playing Samuel, sometimes it makes sense to have 2 Oblivions. Like,
Yeah.
it really does, especially if you're kiting really heavily and you know the first one's going to get crucibled. Having a second one, if you have the money, could be really valuable. Now, what is it worth more then? That's the bigger question. And that's why I think maybe some number changes at most. Like maybe you up the stats a little bit to make it so it doesn't hurt as much just to get
You're
the
really
strategic
turning this
thing.
into like a Vainglory 8 desk segment, aren't you?
That's what I do. I can't help it.
All right, yeah, I think the short answer, which was a long answer, is it's an item that serves a specific purpose. You can make it work. I think it's valuable exactly where it is right now, but you kind of got to have a game plan. You got to have specific intent. You have to probably know that from the time you pick the hero, or at least the time you see
You also
the 2 comps, and you have to execute effectively, because otherwise you can also end up having the item and not using it when it's available, which is even worse. Now you've spent the gold, team fight breaks out, you start to panic, you start to spam buttons, you mash buttons, you never hit your echo, or even worse, you hit your echo after triggering the wrong ability, and you never get to do the thing you meant to do.
sometimes you just need 2 Malice and Verdicts immediately after one another, and it, that happens. But you got to have the presence of mind to know when that's important.
Yeah. As opposed to me, who just intends to trigger a second Yummy Catnip Frenzy and instead like echoes my B.
I got to be honest,
Yeah.
after that performance, not even being able to predict when the minions are going to be low health, I don't think you should buy an Echo anytime soon.
That was very.
Was that bit
so
cutting?
mean to me today. I'll play Baron later and make up for it.
All right. I trust you. You're going to carry me later. So, what are the odds that we can run into a dev in tier 6 and 7?
The odds are probably better than most, really. Like we have, plenty of people obviously who work here at the lair, and our skill tiers run the gamut. And that's important because we have specific playtests throughout the day on the things that we're working on, like talents right now. We have specific playtests throughout the day that are skill tier specific, because we have to know, is this going to be a good experience for a casual player? Is this going to be a good experience for, a mid-range or low-tier player? Is this going to be a good experience for a Vainglorious player? We have different playtests throughout the day, different time slots set aside for players of various skill tiers. I believe the latest Super Evil dev to hit Vainglorious was Yuma Rankin, so congratulations to
Nice.
Yuma Rankin for hitting Vainglorious. And we do special playtests for each band, but the odds are pretty good. Well, I mean, the odds are not great that you will happen to be in a match with a dev with
They're
all
no
the
worse
with,
than anything
with
else.
the millions of people that are playing, but there are probably better odds of running into a dev in that range than there are at super high tier.
Got it. Okay. Can you tell us more about the new hero in 2.4?
Yes, and we will
So,
on this stream.
I think we're going to show the splash art and some voiceover.
Can we segue into that? Was that our official segue?
It was an attempt at it, but
Shinkai tried to cue up a real softball segue into Baptiste, and I just whiffed just like I did on my last hitting. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's bring up the splash art for this hero. Let's bring in our very special guest that we're extremely lucky to have. That
Life is
our
pain.
art director.
I will bring you peace.
I don't want to talk over Baptiste. Absolutely, and I believe we have some more voice lines that we can play later. Welcoming in now, the one and only, the myth, the legend. It's Chainsaw,
Yeah, it's been a minute.
the art director here at Super
Been
Evil.
a
It's been a
minute.
long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've seen you on the stream.
Well, usually, I mean, Captain Nito is the sort of handsome front man of Vainglory, so it's nice to have him out here.
The buttery
sometimes.
smooth man.
Yeah, I mean, basically getting me to come out is almost like telling the guitarist to come out and just have a conversation with the other.
I don't know if I agree with that, but and to that end, Captain Nito, originally we were going to have him on as well, but Captain Nito is right now in LA with a bunch of our team. They're doing roundtables with players in LA around talents, where those players who are under NDA who cannot or should not share what
Should
they are
not.
doing, but they're
We'll
getting
send
to
the ninjas
play.
after you.
Yeah, they're yeah. Don't have this guy go after you because he has many weapons. They're getting to play brawl modes like Blitz and Battle Royale with talents in special focus groups, small group settings in LA all week this week, so we can find out firsthand from players what they think about how
Yep.
it's coming.
Yeah, so he's down there spinning wheels and making deals, and hopefully some really strong stuff will come out of that.
Yes, but we're very lucky to have Chainsaw with us today. We're here to talk about Baptiste.
Baptiste, yeah.
And dude, this hero, this is one of the most evocative, strongest looking heroes I feel like going in. It brings so much even before you start to talk about the abilities.
Yeah.
Can you just talk to me a little bit about this hero from the ground up, how it came to be?
Well, I mean, the hero ends up with a really strong iconography because it was literally all of us sort of sitting in a meeting, and we had plans for future heroes, and those future heroes are coming. But Captain Nito comes in and says, I want a Voodoo King, right? And so everyone sitting in the room going, of course we want a Voodoo King, right? And we wanted to make sure that it was a lot of fun and you know, sophisticated, and we wanted to make sure that the character is vainglorious. You know, we're always going to do our version of things. You know, we could have done your typical tribal voodoo doctor or witch doctor,
Right.
which we see in a lot of games and stuff like that. But you know, it has to be vainglorious. It has to be fabulous. So going more the voodoo Haitian New Orleans route was, I think, the way we wanted to go with this guy.
Right, so maybe we could bring that up again so people can take another look at the splash art as we talk about it. But can you talk a little bit about some of those choices that you made with him in particular, a little bit that you can see in the splash art?
Sure, sure. I mean, originally, when he said Voodoo King, the first thing that came to mind was Baron Samedi. So Baron Samedi is the voodoo law of the dead, right? And he's in charge of getting people to the underworld where they're supposed to go, right? But there's also a sense of fun and celebration with him, and I wanted to do that, you know. So all the celebrations of Mardi Gras and that feel, I wanted that sort of happiness. I wanted in there, and I wanted him to feel like a master of ceremonies. You know, like the guy in the front of the second line, and y'all from New Orleans, y'all know what the second line is. So I wanted to really push that, and the other thing, besides being a kind of master of ceremonies, the other thing that that he's known for is being the Lord of Disruption, and the fear ability is all about disruption and causing trouble.
Now, that's actually where I wanted to go next. So, as you're working with the hero designers and they're starting to tell you the abilities that they're considering for the hero, how does that start to factor into the way that you're thinking about you and the team realizing how the hero looks, both in the art and the animations, the PFX, everything as it starts to come together?
Each hero is slightly different. Some heroes go through a bit more of an evolution. Other times, it's the initial artwork is so strong that it starts to dominate the thesis of the hero. So in this case, you know, the initial artwork being this guy who is a purveyor of death and fear, it stayed with them, you know. And anytime we would have a meeting about the design, and things would, like abilities or something, would start to stray away from that initial thesis, we just kind of bring the art back up and go, hey, remember, he's the Voodoo King, right? You know, not the Snake King or the Poison King. He's the Voodoo King, right? So we start doing that sort of stuff. I mean, it was kind of different with Lyra because we had so many good things. There's so many good things that, like, if
A lot
if
of
I,
good things.
right? Where if I gave Lyra, say, a wand or a staff, I mean, it's just it would like close them off too much. So I gave her like a book instead. So whatever spells you would do, but that's not the case with the Voodoo King. Voodoo King, he's got that big old scythe, and he's ready to reap souls. And so it was, you know, us sitting around sometimes, if things would get weird, we would have these arguments, and I would say, does he still reap souls? Because if he still reaps souls, then he's a voodoo king, right? And anytime there was something like really clever, and I'm all like, I don't think that reaps souls. I don't. Nope.
Now let me tell you, I've been in meetings like that where if you're having kind of, let's say, a vibrant discussion around a topic, and Chainsaw turns to you and he's like, does he reap soul? You know, like that's not, you know, like in that moment.
I tend to loom.
That will snap
I don't mean to.
That will snap you to attention. Like you were okay. We're a little off track here. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. It's good that you're.
Well, it's that sort of. I mean, like you have a background in this sort of stuff, so you understand what it is to develop the throughput on a particular character, a particular storyline, to make sure things end in a satisfying conclusion. And so that's being the Voodoo King. It's all about ending in a satisfying conclusion.
And so how does the hero feel now to you when you get in the playtest? Does it feel like all that came together for you?
Yeah, I think so. Especially choosing how to spend your souls. It's that choice that allows you to create moments of a flash, right? And that's what I like about this character. I like characters that can be flashy. The way, for example, Sky, like if you do just the right move, it's the same thing with this dude.
All right, and we'll get into all of the abilities and start to break those down with the very annoying Nivmet a little bit.
That's right.
A little bit later on, and in terms of just the look, feel, how the animation, how all of that started to come together. Did it feel like, did it evolve into something, or was it still at the end you were like, yes, this feels and looks like the original thought behind this?
There is certainly the original thought behind it that continued all the way through, but everyone added their own little particular spin. The vocal talent that we got for it, the things that he says.
Incredible vocal talent.
Yeah, and of course,
that guy's a real deal.
Our man at Reunion Island doing his animations, Jerome, also made him particularly fabulous. So he steps into the fold with a lot of bombastic flair, which was one of the most important things I thought that he should have. Is it a celebration? Like when he comes in, that's what I wanted, that feel, right? So and I'll hear it. I'll know a character is there when I hear him talking to me and telling me like, oh, this is what I want to do. If it's the celebration is what he wants to do, then I'm like, okay.
Tell me what Saw sounds like when he talks to you.
Like he's in a metal shower trying to sing.
That's Saw Push Turret?
Yeah. That's Saw Push Turret. Where is everybody? That's what it sounds like.
Like Bane?
Is it big? Can I shoot it? That's basically it.
Yes, exactly. Are there any kind of final thoughts you want to leave our community with as it relates to this hero coming very soon to the Halcyon Fold?
Well, I want you guys to really, really push what he can do. I know a lot of times when a hero comes out, the first couple days people are super cautious and they're like, oh, he plays like this or he plays like that. I want you guys to really take some chances and figure out what he feels like in terms of positioning and forcing other people out of position.
All right, fantastic. Chainsaw, our art director, thank you so much for joining us today. Can I ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Because it's hard to say no when you're on camera with all the people. Can we have you back again soon to do another one of these streams where you concept a potential hero like live in real time based on little tidbits that you're getting from the audience on the stream? We did this
for sure.
way back in the day where you did this crazy kind of death beetle. Like that was a long time ago now at the old office.
I can totally do that,
that was really something to watch for. So
and if you guys come out with a really strong kit, maybe the designers will get inspired and this thing actually might,
All right, very cool. So we'll have Chainsaw back soon. We'll do this thing. For those of you who have kind of joined the game community since Chainsaw last did this, we will actually take direction, like an improv show, from you in the chat.
Yes.
What type of hero do you want to see? What's the source of power? Is it human? Is it animal? He'll ask questions of you. You'll
That's right.
input in the chat, and he will concept a hero. We'll have a second camera where you can see him on his Cintiq or whatever he wants to use, and you'll see him concept that hero in real time. It was really fun. We'll do it again because he said yes. So
Sweet.
yeah, so so thank you very much for your time.
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay.
And thank you guys.
All right, great. So let's put that splash art back up on the screen so that Chainsaw can get back to making some cool
right.
heroes, and everyone can get another look at that. And we'll bring in our next guest. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so that is Baptiste, as you heard Chainsaw talk about. You can see all the different, so everything that's here kind of has its place in the fold with this hero, factors into the abilities, factors in to his voice, factors into the lore, and no one knows more about that lore than our next guest, easily one of the most beloved people in the community. Maybe Nivmet will be a little less beloved now that he completely wrecked me in unceremonious fashion. But it is
Who wrecked you?
the one and only Sugar Venom.
Yay!
Sugar Venom is here.
I was messing with the mic.
Sugar Venom push turret.
Yes. In all caps.
Sugar Venom push turret.
Hold
Nice.
on, let me fix this.
I didn't put my eyeliner on so I could be in a saw mask.
All right.
Secretly a woman.
Oh. Yeah. Like Shane.
Hello.
Hello.
What are we talking
It's
about
nice
first?
to see you.
It's great to see you too. It's been so long.
I know. What would you like to talk about first?
I know there's a couple of things. Like we threw out all kinds of stuff this morning.
That's
Like,
true. A
a
lot of
little
stuff
too
came out
much?
this morning. A lot of stuff
To
came
scare
out this
Adi?
morning.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff came out this morning.
A bit too much. And then we have Halcyon Days going on right now.
That's also happening.
Just all the things.
Okay, where should we start?
Let's do the Halcyon Days thing.
Please.
I'm so excited about this.
Hercules,
You know why?
Hercules, Hercules.
Hercules. Because last year I wrote this Halcyon Days lore and Adi did not publish it. And I always get my way. So this year I published it for real.
Why didn't he publish it?
Because he's a dork face
Well, he is a dork face.
who doesn't read the lore. He doesn't know how brilliant I am at all.
I know. What's up with him?
That's very sad. So
Everyone should read the lore.
he's not a big reader.
Now
sorry.
you're just disparaging the poor individual.
Well, he's not here to defend himself. So.
That's true.
But yeah, so I love this lore. It's so cute. A bunch of the heroes are on a Titan back, which
Yep.
is the female equivalent of the the male equivalent of the Kraken.
That's
They're on
correct.
their way to the Halcyon
Kraken
Fold.
is female.
Yes, Helga. That's what you named her.
Well, the community.
Oh, okay. And they're I guess getting ready to go fight and kill each other.
Mhm.
But on the way, they're all talking about spring and how they all celebrate spring where they're from.
So
and
it's like Earth documentary with David Attenborough with the Titanbacks migrating.
Not quite. Look who also didn't read the lore. My boss.
I always read the lore. You know I always read the lore. No one can quote back the lore. Like I said, for the record.
Actually, I think it's Nivmet who can quote
Hold
back
on.
the lore.
No, I can. So hold on.
Yeah.
When are we going to find out what actually happened with Kroll? When are we going to get that origin
Oh my
story? You
gosh,
want
I
to
really
talk about the
wanna-
lore?
I really want to write that.
Well, we should do
We
that.
have to make that happen.
Because
Every
I'm reading
time
the lore and I don't know what happened.
I know what happened.
Well, I
Can
kind
you
of know what
trust
happened
me?
too.
This is job
Unless you've
security is what
changed
this is. You can't get rid of me.
Just don't lock us in
All right,
before we
won't
talk
tell
about
you.
it.
I don't want to say it here.
Okay, don't say it
I want to
here.
tell the story. We've got to do like a prequel.
All right.
A pre-crawl?
A pre-crawl. Oh, you did not just do that. Okay, a pre-crawl. There'll be a pre-crawl.
Pre-crawl skin.
All right.
I would love that.
So Halcyon Days are going on right now. Make sure you're checking in-game in the news section in that front in the the banners that rotate through, and on the website as we announce events, do all
Yeah.
sorts of fun things, read all of the lore.
So the Halcyon
good things
Days
about
lore is
that.
they do all these different spring festival things. The thing that we leaned into this year is Thailand. We love Songkran or Songkran or however you say it. Somebody in the stream
You sound like someone
who
who
is
really
Thai.
loves it.
I really do. But when I said Songkran to a friend of mine who is from there, she was like, Songkran. And she was very angry that I said it wrong. And so
Okay.
I apologized. I
All right.
want to do it right. I have all the love. So they have this giant water party where
Nice.
it's like dangerous to go in the streets because you're going to get shot with water guns and stuff. Looks hilarious. I so want to go. So I gave that to Ringo and Ozo as their Halcyon Days celebration. I put it in the lore, and we have
Except
this
Ringo can only hold
beautiful-
one water gun.
Correct, but he's very dangerous with it.
Okay.
As we know. And then, and so the art for Halcyon Days is beautiful. It's some love to the water party. And then that's Halcyon Days going
Fantastic.
on now, right? Stuff, promotions, and
Very good.
whatever. And then, what's next? What else did we reveal today?
Well,
Taka.
that's right.
Oh my gosh.
We have a whole segment, I think, on Taka Shinkaigen. Whenever you want to do Taka,
Oh,
we can do Taka. We'll wait to talk about that a little bit. But
Yeah.
tell me about your,
My part of it?
tease it for them. Yes.
okay. So this has already been out forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like on vacation when it came out, and so the lore came out too late in the cycle for anyone to really see it. So I finally got to make an article with the incredible lore that you're going to love because it's the prequel to some cartographer guild stuff in Githia. So I mean,
Interesting.
yes, with the journal.
Foreshadowing, perhaps.
Remember the journal?
Of course, I remember the journal.
is in
That was
this
like
one.
when you joined. That was like one of the
Yes.
first things I shared this doc with you. This journal of the
Yes,
history
you.
of.
It's
of the
my
world.
playoff beard love. I try to sneak this journal and the cartographers and such for a reason into the lore whenever I can, and it's in this Night Shadow
Very
Taka
cool.
lore,
Very, very
which
cool.
is very awesome.
Now, a lot of the people here today, they're here because of Baptiste,
Baptiste.
the new hero that is coming very soon. I don't know if I'm supposed to explicitly say when it's coming or not, so I'm just going to say very soon.
Nope, we
I'm
might
gonna
get
say very
smacked by
soon.
Haney or something.
Right. But so tell us, we heard from Chainsaw about how the art team approached the hero. Talk to me a little bit about how you approached the lore for the hero, as well as you also direct the VO session
Yes.
for, how this hero comes to life, what this hero sounds like. So just take me through your process and his story.
Well, first of all, Baptiste is really heavily inspired by French, Louisiana Creole, the voodoo tradition, stuff like that. And so I did a ton of research on this. And I've been looking at it really carefully for a long time. And I was so inspired because we have this whole region in our Vainglory world that's sort of based on that, the Storm Queens region of the world. But also, you know what Captain Nito really loves is when we tell the stories of people who wouldn't have anything to do with the Storm Queen, really,
Yeah.
or with the Storm Guard, really. They're from that place, but, Baptiste and his people would never have actually come anywhere near them, right?
Yep.
So I'm really excited about opening up a little bit more of our Vainglory
It's
world.
the downstairs in Downton Abbey.
There you go. It's the downstairs, or, New Orleans inspired,
Yes.
right? It's a port city. It's going to be awesome. And what has happened, just a little bit of story, is that the Storm Queen has outlawed all magic except for what she gets to use.
That's why.
right?
Can I ask you, is Catherine on steroids? Is that why?
No, but
'Cause
Halcyon
magic is
shimmers in
outlawed?
her veins.
Right.
Her magic isn't outlawed. You know what I mean? If you're working for the Queen, you get to use it.
Okay.
But, these people have gone underground with their magic, and they have brought up this spirit, this Loa, this underworld king to come up and end the reign of the queens, is what his hope is.
All right. So Baptiste is out to get the queens.
Yes.
Now, does that include Celeste?
The one coming up, you betcha.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a hero out to get Celeste. I don't think Arden will like that.
No, a lot of them are out to get Celeste, aren't they?
That's true.
think
What do you have?
Samuel is
What do you have
too.
against Celeste?
Well, she's really about to be powerful, so that's what comes with the territory.
What do you have against peanut butter?
I have nothing against people. I quite like it.
That much is clear. That much is very clear.
And the VO. This is so cool. So do I sound excited about this
That's good.
hero? I am. I'm so excited.
Oh,
Neat.
wait, that was Shinkaigen saying we have extra VO that we can play.
Only I can hear Shinkaigen, right? He's the voice in my head. Or can our players hear them
Oh, no,
too?
they can't hear.
Oh, it's cool to have Shin in my head. It's pretty great.
Isn't it
So-
right? Why isn't he in my head when I play?
I would love that.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Can you just go through
Can
my
we get a
fingers
companion
as well?
app where it's like you play and
You can be
Shinkaigen's just in your head?
Shinkaigen. Oh, we'll
And
just
then it can be
download him like
Nivmet's
the
gonna
Matrix.
be really annoying. So be careful.
Oh, Nivmet's always annoying unless
That's
he's on
true.
your team. Then he's the best. So we got this hyper awesome actor named Dave Fennoy, who's been in everything. Absolutely everything. I couldn't believe I got to work with him. And I spent the first 10 minutes of our very expensive session going, I love you and you're awesome. And thank you for the things you've written and whatever. And he just knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
So let's play some.
You're just repeating what Shinkai
Yes, I am, but they can't hear
Like
it.
you right where you are.
Well, there you go.
Life is pain. I will bring you peace. The living are just the dead on holiday. Your funeral, my party. Do
That's-
you hear them coming?
All right.
Your funeral, my party. That seems
Yeah.
to sum up kind of what it'll be like for him to be on the Halcyon Fold,
Absolutely.
or the game earlier with Nivmet killing me.
Well, yeah. That's it's always what it's like being against Nivmet.
But this hero, you really feel the presence. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think players are going to have a fun time kind of
yeah.
being this hero in the fold.
Definitely. And then we're introducing new mechanics for it. And I loved writing the voice lines to go along with that, like that stay right where you are and things like that. I loved working with that accent. And so I really hope you guys love this because we love him.
All right. So definitely give us all of your feedback and thoughts on the lore, on the VO, on everything else.
If it's good.
Once the hero comes out. Yeah, only positive comments. Sugar Venom, she's on Twitter. Only the
I am.
love. Only show the love.
At the Sugar Venom.
At
Come
the
tell
Sugar
me all the
Venom.
things you love about it.
All right, what are you saying, Shin? Now you're just going to talk to Nivmet while you're on the thing. Very good. All right.
What, is he coming
what
to-
else
to
can he
take my
disrupt
spot?
today? Could you walk under the ladder? All right. All right, very good.
Oh, he's
so,
on deck.
he is on deck,
Yeah, warming up.
just to rub it in.
You guys want some Nivmet? Oh, by the way, guys, it's not my birthday.
I know, you confused
Sorry.
everyone. You confused everyone. So it was Nivmet's birthday, and I would wish him a happy birthday, but I don't know if I feel that way now. And you went on then and said that it was your birthday.
And your birthday and all our birthday.
Right, because
Because we are all Nivmet.
that's true.
It's the meme,
And
guys.
Nivmet is
Us
l-
having a birthday.
Nivmet is
Fun. Love.
love.
His love, his life. He is everyone.
Right. Exactly. And because
Yeah.
of that, if it's Nivmet's birthday, it's all of our birthdays.
Do the Nivmet thing in chat, guys.
That's true. Exclamation point Nivmet. But
And
now
so
it'll
I
break
said the
because too
thing,
many people will do it.
And everyone, including Nivmet, didn't get it.
Right.
Even
and just
Nivmet
thought it was your
like,
birthday.
happy birthday.
And I sent a message to
I
someone
felt-
saying like,
Oh,
I thought her birthday was in May. Now we don't have anything planned. I feel so terrible.
It is.
And you had a cold, and I wouldn't let you come into work because I didn't want you to be patient zero.
right.
And I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't let her come into work on her birthday. And we didn't have a cake for her or anything, but it wasn't actually your birthday.
By the way, I missed your birthday.
That's true.
All I know is that it's 3 months before mine and that you call yourself old. And that bothers me a lot.
Can
you stop
you're
it?
much younger than me.
It's 3 months. All right, guys. Are you ready?
I think we've done it. We'll bring in the one and only, the face of the Vainglory
Love
community,
you guys.
who is the rudest player in the fold. Thank you so much, Sugar Venom. Everyone show some love for Sugar Venom in chat. So nice to have her today.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm utterly dying. I think I have some explaining
No, I'm
to do.
utterly dying. I'm utterly dying, like 1 in 10. I'm utterly dying. That was supposed to be a nice,
It wasn't-
friendly community
it wasn't
game
me. It
with
was
no one
Shin.
out for blood.
He's like, hey, can you play against playoff? And
Can
I'm
I-
like, yeah.
Let me just ask you a question. If you are not in that game, do you think someone would be constantly ganking lane like that?
Ataka should.
But-
Ataka definitely should. Especially,
But we haven't
So-
even seen Ataka.
the thing is, with a character like yours, Lance, your auto attack naturally pushes the lane forward.
Correct.
So by pushing yourself forward, you open yourself easier to gank. So in situations where you have a heavy push, someone who pushes the lane much more naturally, it's the jungler's job at that point to actually gank the
So
lane.
you're going to
more.
kill me and then lecture me. No, I'm messing with you. We love Nimnet.
So
We love Nimnet.
I-
He's a better player than me.
No,
He's
no,
a better.
no, no,
he's a
no.
much better player
I
than
got
me,
carried
and that's
by my
okay.
teammates. I got carried by my
And that's
teammates.
okay.
I was actually really worried with the pedal pick. I didn't think I was gonna be okay, and my flicker and my Gwen utterly carried me. So
All right.
it was.
With that,
And I did know that it wasn't Sugar Venom's birthday. Well, it wasn't her birthday, but I retweeted it because I understood the reference. I did get it. No, you said I didn't get it.
all right.
No,
So
I'm just messing. Okay.
with that, let's turn our attention to Baptiste. You not only
So
do you
good.
run PBE, you've been in a lot of the internal playtests as well. I want to start to talk about this hero's abilities, what this hero brings to the fold.
Your
could you
funeral.
Yeah,
My
brings
party.
your funeral to the fold.
My party.
Brings your funeral to the fold. So can you just
Those voice
start
lines are
out? Can you start
amazing.
out by just talking about, in a
What-
nutshell, kind of top level, what you think this hero brings to the Halcyon fold that is unique to this hero?
So I would definitely say the first thing that he brings is the flexibility of where you put him. So some heroes are great for example, drafting. That's why one of the reasons why Dodge is so popular right now. You can choose him and then you can push him into lane, or you can push him into the captain role. In the situation with Baptiste, he can go. I've seen jungle weapon. I've seen a CP laner. I have seen captaining with him. He literally can fit into almost any path or color, which is, don't get me wrong, we strive to create heroes that are flexible. But I feel in terms of where he can go, he may be one of our most flexible heroes yet.
Can you tell me just a little bit about why? Why is this hero so flexible when I mean, Baron, you're not gonna do that with a Baron, right? What is it that
So
that
to explain
Baptiste can do?
that, I feel we should actually explain his abilities first.
Sure.
And at that point, we can elaborate on each one of these.
Very good. Should we
So-
start with the perk, or should we come to
Sure.
the perk at the
no,
end?
the perk is really important. So
All right.
his perk
Reap.
is great. Reap, every single time you auto attack anything or hit a hero with an ability, you'll reap a soul from them. This soul will restore a certain amount of life that scales with CP, by the way. And when you reach 4 souls, you will empower. And during this point, you will no longer collect souls, but your abilities deal 100% more damage, and even your auto attacks are empowered by 25%.
Wow.
Yeah. So some people will be like, oh, he doesn't feel like he has a lot of damage. No, he does. You need to empower. So he has highs and lows of he may not deal a lot of damage, but he has high sustain. But then his sustain drops, and he all of a sudden dishes the damage. So
That's really interesting. So a little bit is about kind of knowing where you are in that dance.
Yeah. So the most skilled players will be able to empower themselves at the perfect time for them that they want to get the most out of their combo. The empowerment only lasts for 4 seconds. And so it's, unless you use your abilities right, and your auto attack especially, it's going to be hard to empower yourself at the right time, except for those players who are really thinking it through.
Yeah, I really like those heroes where you can make specific decisions that will then dictate what type of fight you have.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really fun in that respect.
I see people will go into the jungle. Let's say they're playing a jungle version of him, and they'll hit a minion a couple times, even if they don't kill it, just to get 3 souls, and they'll walk into the lane for a gank, and they're ready to be empowered.
There you go.
So there's some really cool interactions there. So his A.
Bad mojo.
Bad mojo. So he throws out a skill shot nuke that will deal damage and slow the first person it hits. It also deals a small splash around it that deals half damage. And you're like, well, the half damage doesn't seem that great. It doesn't feel like it's doing much. Why is that? Because you can hit multiple people and collect multiple souls.
There you go.
It really ties into his perk. People are like, well, that seems okay. It makes him a monster in lane. And while you don't deal a ton of damage, I feel like if you're playing it right, no one can push you out of lane if you're doing it right. You feel you're just slowly siphoning. You can't full on just jump on them and kill them, but you're slowly draining them of their stamina. You're fatiguing them down, and it's a really interesting take on a laner, because usually most of our laners are very
Ringo,
jump on you.
Ringo
Ringo
Achilles
aggressive,
shots
yeah.
and then whittles you down, or
Yeah.
Rona bursts you down. Or
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Caval Far's Rona.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so good. Okay, but but you can do some really interesting interactions. For example, if souls are traveling in the air to you, you could actually trigger your farm a couple more souls as they're flying to you, so you can get extra heal. There's like a lot of cool things that you can do with these abilities. So let's go ahead and get to the real utility of his kit. And in my opinion, his most impacting ability is his B skill, which is Ordained. So this ability is amazing. This is probably my favorite part of his kit. While the fear is gorgeous, which we'll get to in a little bit, this is probably the real playmaker.
Is that what you think when you're killing me? The fear is gorgeous? It's just feeding. You're like Emperor Palpatine, like feeding off the hate as you kill people in the fold.
To be fair, what I'm generally thinking is
gorgeous.
I'm going to jump on him at this point, give it 0.2 seconds, and then I'm going to Kaiten over when he tries to Githian wall me.
I
So
noticed that you're waiting to Kaiten when I Githian wall because you're an evil punk.
I am,
right.
but I am super evil punk.
That's true. Touche. Touche. All right. His B ability is Ordained.
Ordained will entrap a person within a ghostly prison. If they choose to leave the confines of this prison, it will become stunned and take extra damage. It deals a little bit of damage when you target them with it, but it deals twice as much if they try to leave the confines
So
of
it's
your
kind of like
ethereal prison.
suddenly it's like, uh-oh, there's this thing centered directly around me.
Yes.
And this is not going to be fun.
Now, the interesting part is it doesn't affect your allies. It in a way, like, so you see...
And it's tight around you. It's not like an Ardent Gauntlet.
No, it is a much smaller. Think of almost like smaller radius than even like a glaive or Bloodsong.
Like a goop pool size almost.
No, it's a bit larger than that. It's
You don't know the size of my goop.
3.3. If I was gonna give you an exact range, but I mean that's an.
Just go ahead and drop the numbers on me.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of something comparable. But anyways, what does this mean though? This means characters. We've seen a lot of ranged heavy carries lately. A little bit of resurface of melee carries, but more rare than it is. But let's say you're playing a heavier dive comm. Instead of being kited around, if you have Baptiste there, he'll ordain their carry. And they have a choice. Do I stand and fight in the circle? Or do I run out, take the stun, and possibly let them catch up to me?
Yep.
And if I don't leave, they will for sure catch up to me. The prison lasts for 2.5 seconds.
A little bit like close to the length of like a Yummy Catnip Frenzy.
Yeah. So you have a choice. Do I take just the 1 second stun or the 2.5 second confinement? So you choose your own punishment, which is really plays on his character, right? He's just like he'll let you choose which way to struggle as long as you're struggling. Like.
All right. And speaking of the struggle,
now
Fearsome Shade.
Fearsome Shade is ultimate is a skill shot. It's not super high damaging. I wouldn't call it a nuke, but it's almost like a wait for it in a way. In terms of like maybe the width, but it's maybe a little bit wider. But anyways, so people hit by it will take damage and are feared. This is a new mechanic to the game in which during this time you are effectively stunned in terms of what you are able to do.
What you can do yourself.
Yeah. So you're only able to reflex block or crucible during this time. And during this time, you're also forced to run in the opposite direction of where you hit from.
Right. So it's cast on you, and you start to run in the opposite direction of the person who did the casting.
Now, people are like, "Wow, that's sort of cool," but how are you supposed to auto attack or like do your combos? So this
as Baptiste.
Yeah, as Baptiste. Like he is, I would say more than anything, a playmaker even.
Okay,
so
great.
I've seen people boots past the enemy just to fear them back into their team. My favorite combo is they'll throw their B down on the person and hit them with an A, and then they fear them out of the
So you're trapped in this little prison, and then you get feared, so you're forced to smack your face into the wall.
Stunning you and making you take extra damage.
Very nice.
So there's a lot of combo play even.
Or you can just make people like literally like try to climb up the wall in the fold like a
that's
creepy.
Another way is because if you hit a wall, you cannot keep running, so you stop at the wall. So I see Baptiste almost like almost Githian wall style, like position themselves to hit their team or the enemy team into a wall, or one or two people into a wall. So they don't have to chase after them, and they can just DPS them directly.
Right. So they get feared, and they're trying to run away, and they're just run it. They're just
They're
face
li- they're,
planting
like
into
trying to,
this
like,
wall.
crawl up this wall, like,
Yeah.
but it's not working.
What does that look like again?
I'm gonna
Very
see
good.
something about this later. I know.
Very good. So that's the kit. When you put it all together,
Yeah.
tell me just like if someone was going in the fold and you're like, okay, just try to do this one thing this match. What would you tell them to do?
That's a tough question.
Well, you
Like,
talked about a couple combos.
Yeah, like I would definitely say try poke down, whittle your opponents down with your A, collect your souls, attack, move in when you're empowered, and then utilize your abilities together. Like try and fear your opponent into the B to trigger it, or even like you can use the A to slow them a little bit and then quickly catch up, B them, move past them if they choose not to leave, and then just fear them into the wall. So you get some really like mean plays. So you're like, here's the choice. Do you want to stay in there or you want to take the stun and damage and leave? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just stay in here. And you're like, okay, I'll wait like a second or two. Now I'll fear you into the wall. And so you get both. You get both punishments if you do it just right.
Now, one area we haven't really talked about that goes hand in hand with an ability like a fear ability is the potential for what's commonly referred to as peel, the potential to
Oh yes.
protect your teammates
Now this is
when
where
you're under attack. Like
this is where
imagine
his captain
imagine a fortress
comes in.
goes off, the team is going in on you. Take it away with what you might do as Baptiste.
As Baptiste, this is really more his captain aspect, in which when his ability to peel for his carry, especially a specific person, if like let's say they have a cruel or Rona even, or someone who wants to dive on that back line and just eliminate that threat as quickly as possible. Baptiste has a incredible kit for peeling. So they jump in, you fear them away. They try and jump back, you put them in a prison. Like even
It's like put you in the corner.
yeah,
you're
and
misbehaving.
even as you're trying to like get closer, he's just throwing A's on you to slow you. Like the slow isn't huge, but it's a 60% diminishing slow. So it's like a lot at first and then diminishes quickly. So, but it makes a difference. Every little bit counts. And the best part about it is when you are a captain, because you're naturally tanky, these souls that you're healing off mean so much more, right?
Right.
Because with your high defenses, it takes more to kill you. So he becomes really tanky, and he has a decent amount of peel.
So you can be kind of this playmaking damage dealer, or if it more suits your fancy, you can focus on being this really tough dude to take down who's going to keep your lane carry alive and ticking.
Yeah, so, but his cooldowns are, especially on his B and C, are substantial. So you'll need some sort of cooldown on him to really, if you're going to play him on captain, because the cooldown is decent. It's not a small ability. This is a super strong ability, so it needs to have a decent side cooldown. But let's say you're playing him in jungle. Jungle, he's going to be much more oriented about his empowerment, right? Especially as a weapon. He wants to empower when he's in range to auto attack. He gets a 25% amplification. That's massive. Like all the damage you're dealing is literally being amplified by 25%. And at that point, you really want to push in. I see a lot of my PvE testers try and do like lifesteal builds. So between the souls that they're collecting and the damage that they're dealing, and they're healing even more, and they get some good defense going. So they're really bruisery like. But they deal decent damage. They deal good damage, but they bring solid utility. So now the thing is, he can be kited. There are characters who, for example, Taka, who can simply kiten out of his Ordain. And, he has counters. But if I was going to say something that he counters himself, he's great against poke comps.
Oh, good. Because those kind of,
so
drive players crazy.
Yeah. For example, I was testing on the PB.
Kestrel, Sky, comps.
There was a CP Kestrel in this game, and we come to the lane, and it comes to a poke war, and Kestrel's just firing at us, and I'm taking damage, but every single time I keep throwing A's and auto-attacking minions and throwing A's, and I am out-sustaining her. I'm healing more than she can deal to me, and her energy is still dropping because she's still spamming these arrows at me. I'm like, that's okay. You keep hitting me. As long as I don't take every arrow to the face, I can dodge it. I can sustain through this. And even when I am powered, I don't feel I'm ready to fight. I'll just back up, wait the 4 seconds, go back in, and collect more souls.
There you go.
So there's a real intricate level of play that you can play him. There's a lot of decision making, which you're really going to see the great players utilize this,
All right.
or people who practice him.
But I think because of the flexibility, players at all skill tiers are going to have some fun with this. Hero.
Oh yeah, there's so much to do with him. Even like his CP path, you can deal some serious damage. Like I see some serious damage coming up when late game. You know, he's got a Shatter, Clockwork, Broken Myth, or something like that, and he empowers and hits him with an A, and it deals like 700 plus damage if it like, you know, it's all lined up.
There you go.
So I'm really excited to see what people do with this.
All right, so the next thing, you know, in not too long, we'll be able to start showing you footage of this hero in the fold. We do have one more topic. We want to talk about Night Shadow Taka Special Edition that's coming up. Before we turn our attention to that, though, I do want to know if you can look in the camera and make a play. I'm in this long-running, shall we call it a conversation, with Best Chuck NA over the virtues of Baron. Can you look into the camera and make a case for why everyone should be playing Baron right now?
See, the thing is that you're asking the wrong person, because I'm always the type of person that believes in every hero is strong in certain situations. You want to pick a hero. Like, any hero that's just good all the time is not generally, you know, what we call balanced, I suppose. So in the situation of Baron, picking him into a late game comp, picking him into a close melee comp where you could splash into multiple people, picking him into Finn is one of my favorite things to do, because especially once I overdrive my B, he throws out his pull and I just go, jump! I'm CC immune during this time.
We'll build up breaking point stacks on the Finn.
Oh yeah. So there is a time and a place for every character, and Baron definitely has
Baron is the all-time. All the time.
You are famous for, you pick that character and it is your character.
I spent a long time on one character.
Yeah, like you had your Koshka phase, you had a period of time with Arden,
yes.
You had a period of
Grandpa
time with
Arden.
Lance, Grandpa Arden, get off my lawn. Lance, now Baron is your new
which is why I should have just played Baron today.
That would have been a
You
great
forgot
choice.
the tryst I had with Ozo there somewhere. Right?
Oh, that's right. Well, you were like in and out with it a little bit. Like you really loved it, but I don't know. I feel like you didn't spend as much time.
More like a love affair.
I mean, it wasn't the type of devotion I saw to Koshka or to Lance that you gave.
The true.
Yeah. I mean, you could always go back. I think Ozo is great right now. I'm actually seeing.
Go back to Ozo.
I'm saying he's
shame.
so good. He is so good right now.
I got killed by an Ozo yesterday.
Yeah. I've seen it in competitive play lately a couple times. Good pickups. The sustain is great, the damage is solid, and even brings a decent amount of utility to your team.
How'd you turn this Baron segment into an Ozo segment?
He tends to acro bounce in, I guess.
That's true. Oh, my gosh. All right. With that, Nibmet, thank you, sir.
It was my pleasure. I will see you
in the
later.
future. Maybe not snipe me on the stream. But we'll bring back in AJ, who can snipe me anytime, because that'll be an easy win.
You can always go back to Ozo, because Ozo's desperate.
That's not true.
Also, Nivmet missed the most important thing about Baron. Sorry, Baptiste.
Which one?
The most important thing about Baptiste is that he's kind of a mean guy. He's always throwing shade.
Great.
Are you glad to have me back?
Let's take a look at Night Shadow Taka Special Edition. Oh, it's an awesome video out of Chimera. I love that video. Night Shadow Taka Special Edition, the last one of those, special edition versions of the skins, those limited edition skins that came out way back in the day that you can't get anymore. And it's a special time that players have been asking over and over again, when is the Night Shadow Taka Special Edition going to come out? It is finally here. Let's take a look at it now in game.
I really like this skin. I gotta be honest. I feel like a lot of the limited edition, special edition combos, like they're both as cool as each other. I find it hard to pick, even though I own a lot of the older ones. Sometimes I just want to play the newer ones because they're super cool.
Absolutely. So, Night Shadow Taka Special Edition. Obviously, the first thing you notice is the red, that crimson shadow Githian armor. Oh, I get to read the things that Sugar Venom wrote for me again. I always love how explicit they are. Would you like to take the next one?
Sure. Power-cooled respirator mask and night vision eyepiece.
Yes. All of those things are true as you get to take a look at some of the close-ups of Night Shadow Taka Special Edition coming to the fold in Vainglory's next update. That'll
I
be
actually
2.4.
have to admit, the blue weapons are one of my favorite things about the skin. And specifically, they are blue ion arc blades.
You took my one.
You were stalling.
All right. All right, so you saw the box there. Of course, Kaku turns into a fox in a robo-box.
Fox in a Robobox.
Yes. These are all the great things that Sugar Venom writes for us.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I think we're going to get some slow-mo in a second.
Very good.
Which is
That's
nice.
always the best for Taka.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like his Kaiten and his X-Retsu and slow-mo. Oh, look at that. The sparks
I'm just
flying.
looking at a... What is the Treant doing? Okay, there we go. That's much better looking. It's very confusing. Kaiten over and back again. Very, very cool. Flashy molten metal spark effects. There's the X-Retsu. Oh, my goodness.
The ability animations themselves are like redesigned as well, so
Yeah.
it's. I mean, there's some cool stuff, like that little swirliness when he goes into the Kaku.
It's
I
so
like that.
swirly.
Very swirly.
No, dude, don't go back. Do more. Do more things. Don't go back, Shin. Do more things. Show us more things. This is gonna do more things. We want to see this more. Shin Kaigen's like, we'll go back to the desk. No, what they've been looking at us this whole time. There's enough of us. Get to see a pretty red tree. Oh, look at the. Have you ever really thought about the jungle monsters like this?
That basic attack animation is so cool.
They really are, like, the jungle monsters really are putting up their dukes, like, ready to punch you like a boxer. I don't know if I ever even realized that, but whew, that's cool. Kaiten over the top. The jungle monster doesn't even know what happened.
It was all over in a flash.
Yeah, he's just got a mortal wound and nothing to show for it. There he goes in his little robo box.
This is definitely one I'm going to be playing a lot of. I play a lot of Taka, and I'll probably mix it up between this one and the OG version.
Do the little thing.
Oh, look at the recall. That's pretty cool. Or not, Niv meant. Look at that. It's awesome.
It's very awesome.
The blades are sweet.
All right, so people have been waiting a long time for the skin to come out. This will, of course, go straight, just be an opal skin right away. So if you've been saving your opals, it's going to be good. And, of course, always keep an eye on the deals section of the market where we do all sorts of special things. And you never know, you might see something for Taka or one of the others. Never back to the desk. Just stay on the Taka.
Shin's getting irate.
Can we just do like a 4-hour slow-mo stream of Taka?
Sure.
Not us in particular.
No, but
We'll
like
get Shin
we
and
don't
Nimnet to
really
do
need
it.
to be there for it. I mean, we can just
That's true.
stream slow-mo Taka for 4 hours.
We could.
Get some good tunage in the
could we
background.
automate it like when when the goldfish, based on the direction they go, it determines what happens?
Twitch plays Vainglory
Yeah, with goldfish.
with. Where's it, how did Goldfish get into this? I'm really confused.
Do you remember?
Are you
Anyway.
saying that the Twitch viewers have goldfish-like tendencies or
No,
qualities?
like we're just wherever the fish swim, it taps the screen and determines where the
that's
hero
some
goes.
high-tech stuff. I don't know if we've got the capabilities.
We got the evil engine. There's nothing we can't do. Although that might not be the priority over
I don't
talent.
know. Was it going to take like four years to get optical controls
That's
in?
true, but to do, probably somewhere on the product roadmap behind talents and 5v5. Those are probably going to be, higher priority on the list
Above or below optical
than goldfish control.
Goldfish control, I feel like I want that in above talents. That's where that needs to be for me.
That's not going to happen. So you'll like the talents better, though. I promise you.
All right, so that like pretty much wraps things up, right? The skin was the last thing on our agenda.
The skin was the last thing on this lovely agenda that Shinkagen prepared for us.
Right on.
Fantastic. So I want to thank our special guests, Chainsaw, Sugar Venom, a little bit thank you to Nivmet. Please don't snipe me anymore. It's very upsetting when you get sniped in general, much less sniped on the stream with someone who knows exactly what you're going to play.
And
what
where
to do
you
about
are on
it.
the map.
And where you are on the map, looking at a monitor, all of those things. But that's not important. What's important is Batiste is coming soon. Night Shadow Taka special edition is coming soon. The Halcyon Days Water Festival is underway. Lots of good things. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you, AJ,
No problem.
for joining as well. We'll see you again very, very soon. You'll see them this weekend as we return to Vainglory 8 Action Split 2, welcoming in
Teams
some
starting
new
to get ready
teams.
for the championship, man.
That's true.
They're going to be qualified in the next 3 weeks, so make sure you check out what's going on. And also, if you're in Europe, specifically London, then you should definitely check out VaingloryEsports.com if you want to get some tickets.
Get some tickets. Come see us at the Spring Championships. It's going to be fun. Thank you very much for watching. Batiste is coming soon. We'll see you next time.